Peace and blessings, family. It's your girl, Mambo Hathor Akhenaten, aka the Voodoo Diva. And I know it's been a long time, so let's talk about what I have for you today. Okay, so our topic, will be none other than the current Haitian flag versus the original Haitian flag that won us the liberation, the revolution of 1804. As you know, May is Haitian Heritage Month, and it also was a powerful month within Voodoo that dealt with Cousin Zaka. We also had it being Haitian Flag Day, okay? And of course, finishing off the month with Memorial Weekend, where we even had, memorials for certain soldiers, etc. So there's a lot. There was a lot of energy packed with that. But what I specifically want to address is dealing with the flag and how voodoo has been completely eradicated from the current flag of Haiti. Why it is, etc., etc. So let's get into it. First of all, Haitian history. Most of what you're reading out there is about 40% that could have accuracy and about 60% written by the very same ones that we defeated. Okay, so let's just say that. Now, Haitian history is a vast and powerful story of liberation, of freedom, okay? And unfortunately has not really been represented as such, especially in the flag. Now, Haiti, as we know, was named by its native indigenous Arawak Indians, okay, the natives of the land. And what's so powerful about it is because before and after colonialism, the name still remained. That is powers. Most countries, after it's been taken over, changes to what the name of the oppressor gives it, okay? So that just lets you know already, it ain't no joke. Now, as we know, okay, the first wave of the revolution truly dealt with Anakaona. We're talking about the 1400s, as you know, Kaonabo, and that kind of energy. Now, what's so deep about it is that when your boy Christopher Columbus, okay, the Spaniards, okay, got themselves to come over here, they was trying to take over. They saw riches, they saw beautiful people, they saw good living, you know what I'm saying, that good sun, that good food. They was like, nah, hold up, we can see ourselves here. Matter of fact, we gonna take over. Ain't wrong. The first war and the first wave dealt with Anakaona and the native Arawak indigenous peoples, okay? Let you know off top that the energy was already going to be some rebellious energy on that land, okay? It would not just be taken as such. Now, we have to understand that the first migration, okay, of Europeans coming and getting the gateway to come into the Americas was none other than the land of Haiti. At that time, the Spaniards tried to call it Hispaniola, but none other than Haiti, all right? So, when the West African slaves, the few that did come and migrate within Haiti, okay, when they fled and left, some got to get away, all right? There were runaways, of course, rogues, as we call it, from the oppression of what was going on this French control at the time. They were called Neg Nago, all right? The rogues, the ones that was like, hell no, I be damned if we go in this way. So what ended up happening was the Neg Nago went and blended in with the locals. And who were the locals? The native Arawak Indians, okay? They were the ones that taught them how to set traps, strategies, hideouts, okay? And then joined forces later on within the voodoo, the energy of the native Arawak Indians. And of course, again, that West African, that Congo, that Benin, that Togo, and so on. So where we need to understand is that Dessalines was not crazy. When he named the Army des Indigènes, that was the army of the indigenous, okay? They were the masterminds behind the revolution. It goes a step further. Let's talk about Boakaima. Okay, Wakaiman is none other and represents, so we know the meaning here, okay, not just some wood alligator swamp stuff that a lot has been written about, but truly and sincerely dealt with, okay, the house, the wood in the woods at Iman's house, if you will, okay, in the woods. Now, the bois being the woods, Kai house, Iman. Now, who was Iman though? Iman was none other than a Native American, an Arawak Indian, indigenous woman to the land who would come in and assist Dutty Bookman, Ougan Tati Bookman and Mambo Cecil Fatima into the introduction of the Bizango. What was the Bizango? Bizango are special military forces within the pantheon of voodoo. Okay, Bizango Sampuela, if you will. She was the one that brought that energy and let them know about that level of magic to get it popping. All right. Oftentimes in Haiti, you will see they call that Lugaou. All right. Now, Lugaou basically represents shapeshifters. Shapeshifters that only work and come out at night. Okay, they are special arms that make sure they go and get things done in range with some energy, okay, before the Big Bang, before it's time to book. So that is the energy that was transpiring with that. Once again, their colors are red and black. So you have the red for what? The blood, the liberty. And the black for what? Black is death. Death before being oppressed. Okay? All right? It's about black power. It's about a black nation. All right? Anywho, moving on. It was Haitian Heritage Month. As you know, I talked about that before. We have to understand that right now, the element of voodoo has been completely annihilated from the current flag. Okay, let's talk about what a flag is. A flag is a symbol that evokes a message when you look at it. Okay, you have the message being what? The claiming of a territory, the birthing of a new land, that kind of thing. However, when we talk about colors, colors emit a certain frequency of communication. All right, colors attract spirit, attract the Loa. Now, here's the thing. The Haitian flag truly has been changed many times, but where it started to get significant, where the downfall began, okay, was with the death of Dessalines. Now I'll get into that. However, this is what I need you guys to understand. In voodoo, when it talks about the flag, it doesn't just get changed like that overnight. Okay, we must understand that there's something called rite. Rite is a rite. In voodoo, we have different rite, like Rada, Petro, Gede, you have Nago, and the list can go on and on. Many different nations could be, but it's really a rite. Okay, what was happening was that there was an agreement between the people and the national. You have the national spiritual energy and the people. Unfortunately, it was changed. At first, in the beginning, it was a hot, spicy pitwo, that red, that black war, Ogou going on. And then it was changed. But there's a ceremony that is held when that's done because it's a very big deal. Remember, your flag is your pride. It stands for what has been conquered, your history, all of the ancient heroes, etc. So it's a big deal. And in this case, it really was the way that it had to be changed. Now, in voodoo, we need to understand that there are two different levels within the Loa. You have the first level being an ancestry level, a level that deals with inheritance, being chosen, the Loa na laku, the Loa of, your area, the patron Loa where you're from, more, family inheritance kind of thing. You also have something which is rarely discussed. What is it? The national Loa. All right. Now let me get into the national Loa with you. The national Loa means that the infusing of the consciousness of the people is infused with the ancient heroes, which basically become the Loa, the ones that forged, that shed the blood for Haiti. All right, so let's not forget national Loa. So remember that because we're going to get deeper. Now, Ogou is a rite in itself, but specifically, the national Loa at that time was Ogou Ge Rouge, which would be none other than the embodiment of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. The red eyes, Ogou Ge Rouge means red eyes. That red eyes is what? The bloodshed, the sacrifice, for liberty. Now, when we're talking about the black within the flag, now the black within the flag has its representation. In the physical sense, it stands for a black nation, the black pride, the black power, of the people. Now, within the spiritual sense, though, it is something that represents passage. Now, let me talk to you guys about what passage means. In voodoo, in order for anything to happen, there has to be a passage, an opening of the way. To allow your petition to be granted, you have to have passage. Without passage, you get nowhere. Now, when we talk about passage, there are three chief energies within voodoo. okay, that deal with passage. Number one would be Papa Legba. You would have Met Kalfou, and you would also have Baron Samedi. All right. Now, in each of them, in all of their elites, if you will, they have the color black. All right, Papa Legba, red, white, black. You have Met Kalfou, red and black, and you have even Baron Samedi with the purple, black, and white. Okay, but nonetheless, all of them had that black, color and representation. Now, that's the association because again, the passage is what we need for our will to be attained, to be fulfilled. All right. So also when we look at the black, there's a energy when we talked about, remember, the national loi. What did that mean? Well, to be honest, it dealt with Papa Legba tremendously. For the reason being that let's look at our organizer here, toussaintl'ouverture. Okay. Now, Toussaint, when we break down his name, Toussaint, the saint being saints, okay, many times they're looked at as saints because they've really got that Catholicism thing going on within voodoo, but that is the loi, okay, that is the saint, a lot of times they will call it in the language. All right, now when we talk about l'ouverture, ouvrir, ouvert, okay, that's a French term for the opening of the way, opening. All right, what does Papa Legba do? Opens that door that you need to get by with your magic, with what you're doing. Okay, so Toussaint Louverture would be none other than that Papa Legba energy that he was and representing. Why, you ask? Papa Legba is also what? Power within the gateway. He is that master communicator and deals with communication. So everything that you're doing, he can communicate on different languages, different levels. There is no limit. In the case in point here, we have that Toussaint Louverture was speaking English. He was proficient in Spanish, Swahili, French. Okay, he's the one who even gathered the whites. Some of the rogue whites who actually want to join in the revolution and understood the inequality and the inhumane acts that were taking place. So he was the mastermind in the sense of communication. He rounded everybody up. He was there creating relations, okay, and tactical strategies to get it done. All right. So one needs to understand that when it comes to the Haitian flag, it has changed many times, but the time that it was most significant that marked the beginning of the downfall, okay, of the first attack to bury voodoo was when none other than when Jean-Jacques Dessalines was murdered. Now there's a story, and this is how it goes in terms of how this happened, this event. He died, or he was sentenced, to be killed and whatnot at a place called Dindin Pont Rouge. Okay. Now this was a ceremony. His death was a ritual, y'all. I.e., now check the science on this. Dessalines' body parts were chopped in 13 pieces and spread out in different areas of the nation. He has to be dispersed different places. That was part of the ritual. Check. None other than, what does that story sound like to you? Osiris, Asar, the 13 pieces being chopped up, and Aset had to go and try to find them back for the rebirth. Check it. Same thing. It never changes. Nothing new under the sun. Anyway, at that time, the situation was, again, to change the direction of the nation. They had to get that Ogou Ge Rouge principle out of there. Okay, because changing that rite would be doing what now? Taking the power away from the people and putting it in the hands back of the children of the oppressors. Pétion. Pétion was the traitor responsible, his own brother, for his death. To show you. So it was starting to change from that very moment, that switching of the power, if you will. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, when he won that revolution, was called an emperor. That was his status and quo. That Ogou, that kingship energy. Okay? So, again, we must understand that is just when the burying of the powers in voodoo started to take place. All right? That was downfall time. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk to you guys. Of course, we're going to do these comparisons and contrasts of the modern day flag versus the original flag that had all that voodoo and that juice up in it. Okay, the true history behind why it stood the way it did. Now let's check it. In the modern day flag, okay, you would find and have two axes. There'd be two cannons. There's also be the bass drum, the liberty tree, and on top there's a little head at the top covering something. All right, now check it. with the original symbol of the flag, you have the tambour instead of the bass drum. You had the two machetes on the floor representing Ogou. That tambour calling on that spirit, okay? It also had the liberty tree being none other than representation of the palmis of Aizan, okay? And then you had the two snakes going up that tree being none other than the Dambala Wedo Aida Wedo energy, okay? The cosmic knowledge and connection, all right? Now, the representation of all this was because what did it do? When that top opened and there was no hat there, do you know what that meant? That meant that the open, free communication with our ancestors was present. It was not covered or blocked. That antenna was up. It was ready to go. I.e., when you're in a voodoo temple, your potomitan. The potomitan is where that ascension happens, where they can ascend down to come and give divine and timely information. Okay, prophecy, powers. All right. So just to show you, this is what I mean when I say that voodoo was taken up out of there, y'all. We got to keep it real. That damn flag right now looks like a little mini French flag. Okay, it's reminiscent of its colors. It's reminiscent of a lot of things. Okay, that does not truly symbolize what time it was. Now, check. Here's the thing. A lot of what that flag looks like plays a huge psychosis on how Haitian people see white in a superiority kind of frame. Now, I don't talk for all, but we talk about the majority of how that country sees things, okay? Who they see as their God, if you will, and these kinds of things in a sense, okay? Now, after Dessalines' death, this was the death of the national loi. Remember, I go back to talking about that national loi, okay? This is when you started to see more cathedrals be put up in Haiti. Okay, this is where you saw the change of the rite. That rite changed, so the nation's perspective changed, i.e. being more Catholic than anything. Now, the seals was altered, and of course, one must know, in order to stop Haiti in all of its powers and glory, for it to be a thriving nation, you had to stop the voodoo. You had to stop the very core of what made it, the root, the racine of what made it what it is. Okay? You ain't got no tumble to call on the spirit. Your machetes ain't there for Ogou. You know, again, the goal was to eradicate every principle of voodoo as much as possible on that flag. Okay? Now, we need to understand that the goal at this particular moment, okay, is to change our flag, get back our original seal, get back our original colors, even our slogan. Let's look at the slogan, y'all. L'union fait la force. Okay, union makes the force. Union is the strength, if you will. Is that what it symbolizes? But check. Most of the unions that have been formed or been brought to Haiti have been negative ones, have been ones that the relations weren't so good, so that unity ain't been right. All right, the unity ain't been right, built on no mini French flag and colors. This is why most of the time the getting along is a hard thing. They're not in their original element with their national loi. All right, so check. The true slogan that we had as opposed to that was liberté ou la mort. All right, liberty or death, yo. Liberty, because if we don't have our freedom, we don't have a future. All right, voodoo is the future. And at the death, I be damned. I'd rather die before I be sitting up here oppressed by the next man. No, never that. All right. So this is what it means. And again, death and the black also being what? A black nation. All right. That red being what? That liberty, the sacrifice, the bloodshed of our ancient heroes to make it what it was. All right. So where I'm getting at right now with y'all is just plain and simple. We need that national level loi energy raised up again. That Ogou Ge Rouge need to come back up and low. The kingship energy is needed and on the rise, might I add. Okay, listen, Haiti is a historical place. Haiti is not Haitian history. It is black history. It is world history. And I'm going to tell you about more on that world history function. Check it. When your boy Christopher Columbus came and had any encounterings to have the gateway of what going into the Americas would be, the first stop was Haiti. None other than Haiti. It was Haiti, all right, that he found first. And then was able to go deeper in time to discover that there was more to America and all of that. Okay? So this is why Haiti is a spiritual place. It is a place, it is a must-see. The monuments, you have the beautiful citadel. You have the Soda waterfalls on a spiritual aspect. You have so much great wonders and powers within that land. So much black history. So much liberation history. Freedom fighter history. Okay? But now check. This is what people also don't want you to know when it comes to this energy here, okay? This was also a place, too, where some of the most evil started. The slaughtering of our ancestors began right out there in that sense, okay? When we talk about the Americas, okay? And so deeply rooted is your roots, Black America. Deeply rooted are your ancestors in this land, on this land. Because remember, before it was split up to say, okay, Caribbean and then America, it was all just that one body, the Americas. Okay, so where I'm going at with you is this. They had this whole thing talking about desalinating like whites, right? How silly of a myth could that be? Why? Desaline even gave land to whites. There's a place still till now called Fond Blanc, which is a land that was given to a lot of the Polish and also other soldiers that helped fight, that they gave them that piece of land as the earning of a reward for their servitude in fighting oppression and inhumane actions, okay, in oppression. All right, so far from the truth. Let's check it. We even had the Brits, okay, that were responsible for blocking, all right, the shipment, all right, to the French during the war. Okay, you had lots of the Italians, you had Polish, you had the Brits, because it was about when they got there and saw injustice and humanity. Everybody is human. We all bleed the same blood no matter what, being human no matter what. They saw the oppression. They felt that. They saw that there's something wrong here. You can't be trying to come in thinking you're going to try to take over people's stuff that ain't got to belong to you and that you're going to mistreat other human beings. It don't work like that. So what I'm telling you is that we, as a nation, as a people, okay, this is world history. This is something that teaches. It was not about black and white. Get out of your head with that. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do about humanity versus inhumanity. Injustice versus getting and winning our justice, our freedom, our liberation. So, you know, like I said, so much thing goes around and then people will talk that talk and then, you know, it's like, really? Come on. Now, I want to say this. The spirit of our ancestors is calling. Black America. That red and black, RBG, baby. Okay, that's your black power. All right? So don't get it twisted. All right? It's been here. So I'm just letting y'all know that right now the revolution is upon us. And Black America, Haiti, and your ancestors there in the Americas started this story. It's up to you now to finish it. Those unwritten pages, they're in charge. You. They've chosen you. You're the ones who are going to finish writing it. So overstand your position in this thing we call in the art of war. Whatever past relations that was between Haitian and Black America, there was a lot of fabrications and a lot of bullshit. And I understand that in the early 90s, blah, blah, blah. But we are in a new time now. Consciousness and the evolution of humanity rests within us joining forces to take back the liberty aspect. Okay, that red and black belongs to us. Voodoo is our sacred tradition. It's what we combined together as brother and sister side by side to fight oppression. Nothing new under a sun, people, family. So I say this to you. It is time to join that force. You can email me, thevoodoodiva86@gmail.com. You can log on to www.thevoodoodiva.com. We got work to do. And we need each other to do it. So enough of the bullshit, the bashing, the old crap, the thinking, whatever. We are in an age that our evolution, the saving to who we are and our ancient traditions and legacies is at risk. So enough of the playing. It's game time. Okay, and I leave you all with this. I want to give a special shout out as a Memorial Weekend just passed to the Tuskegee, okay, airmen and brothers, okay, fought for the country out here, right here in America. Big shout outs to Ludovic Oudin, Philip Celestine, Raymond Cassagnol, Ebel Gilbeau, Nicole Pellissier, and we also have Alex Pasquette. Okay? On est avec respect pour ancêtres nous. Honor respect to our ancestors out here who fought for not Haitians, but for Black America and all of their brothers and sisters. This is what you need to know. Haitian history, people, is Black history. For spiritual essence readings, for all of your spiritual goods and needs, consultations, and everything else that falls under that, Mambo Hathor Akhenaten is open. I'm about joining in love. I'm about joining in the evolution of humanity. This is what this is about. This ain't no fashion statement. We ain't got time for playing games. So when you're ready to be real and get real, you will know where to hit me up. I ask for all of you to have abundance within this new season, blessings upon you and the family in all that you do, and let's get voodoo or die trying. Many more to come. It was a pleasure. I give honor and respect pour toutes ancêtres, all of my ancestors that fought to make it what it is. My Dati Boukmans, my Cécile Fatimas, my, toussaintl'ouvertures, my Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and the list goes on and on and on. Okay, my Mambo Cécile Fatima. Okay, listen. Endless. Our rich, thick, and beautiful culture. Join in on the power. Because it's here. And it's here for us. Ayibobo. One love. Peace and love to the family. Until the next video. It's your girl, Mambo Hathor Akhenaten, a.k.a. the Voodoo Diva. And I am sending love. Peace.